Now joining me on the news to discuss this is the National Program Manager, Federation of Liberian Youth and Coordinator of the Youth Election Situation Room, LIYOPA, Samuel James Kpartor. Samuel, thank you so much for joining me in the studio.
Thank you. It's great to be on.
All right. Usually when it comes to democratic elections, what many electorates or voters seek is change. Now, can you tell us how closely or tightly contested would you say the runoff election was in Liberia? And also, if you could also tell us about the turnout, was it lower than the recorded 79% in the first round?
Well, thank you again. So firstly, the National Elections Commission will give its second elections briefing today at 4:30 p.m. GMT at our headquarters. As we speak, tallying have started at the National Tallying Center at the Ellen Johnson State Ministerial Complex here in Monrovia. Essentially, what we will be seeing is that, and what we're seeing so far is that both candidates seem to be holding tightly to their strongholds, with the different results coming from, a number of counties showing that candidates are, retaining, strategic control of places that they term stronghold. In terms of the turnout, on the overall, the elections was very peaceful. It was very strategically conducted, but we did not see that massive turnout of, people at the polls yesterday. Turnout was very low. Strategically, or maybe because there was a huge, there's an assumption that there was a huge stance of voters struck in during the first round of elections. So the turnout was not very encouraging yesterday, but Liberians remained peaceful and they went to cast their ballot. Compared to the first round of elections, it took voters at most a minute to, from entering the polling place to casting their, vote. So the turnout was not very impressive as it was in the first round, but Liberians maintain, the peace, the peaceful coexistence, the peaceful nature, and were very impressed with the level of maturity exhibited by Liberians and the National Elections Commission as a country yesterday.
All right, Mr. Kpartor, now peace is quite important. Now, but considering that the main opposition figures had actually previously threatened to foment trouble if the election was in any way rigged, can you tell us how principle is transparency and how transparent has this runoff election been so far?
Well, essentially, so far from the reports from from other situation room and even our situation room, including reports from other local and international observer groups, we're seeing that in line and in congruence with the legal frameworks, the elections framework, the National Elections Commission conducted the process in a way that meets best practice and best standard. The National Election Commission officials and poll agents were very professional. They were very skilled. They were very effective and efficient in carrying out their duties and responsibilities. And at the various polling places, you had observers from local observation groupings, our observers, international observers, witness all that happened. And so far, we have nothing but praise and admiration for the level of, maturity, transparency that we've seen so far, exhibited in the elections. One thing that we are hoping for is that as we are with the National Elections Commission to announce the results, we hope that they will continue to be as impartial, as transparent, and as accountable as they have been from the beginning of these elections.
All right, Samuel, the reason why I asked that question was because some CSOs and also opposition parties had actually questioned the competence and also the impartiality of the NEC due to the appointments of the Board of Commissioners. Now, how valid are these concerns, if there are any?
Well, so far from where we sit, the National Elections Commission have been nothing but professional and independent in carrying out our duties and responsibilities. If there's anything otherwise, we have not witnessed it, we have not observed it, but we will remain vigilant and watchful. If we sense any ounce or any sense of, being unaccountable or not being transparent, I can tell you for sure that we will be amongst those organizations, institutions in Liberia, calling for, the right thing, to take its course. And we believe that if anyone has, evidence or facts, about, the impartiality of the commissioner by demonstrated, through, the different, prima facie available, they can use or make use of the legal process. And that is why, so far from what we've witnessed, the process has been very, very transparent. Civil society organizations are free to criticize, critique, and offer recommendations to things that they observe. But so far from what we're seeing, the Elections Commission remains independent, they remain professional. We do not speak for civil society organizations, but from what we've observed so far, we think the elections is credible so far, unless the National Elections Commission gives us a reason to think otherwise. But from what we observe, we've not seen any hard evidence that suggests that they've been impartial.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much, Samuel Kpartor, for joining us from Liberia to give us an update of the runoff elections in Liberia. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.